It's not enough to just put things out there on a daily basis. It really depends on the quality. And only with quality content you are able to compete on the market.
Welcome to Wires Uncrossed, the podcast when we untangle the world of affiliate and digital marketing, produced by Clickwire. I'm Luisa, and today we're starting our second episode of our Deep Dive series, when we discuss key elements of digital marketing and how we can use it towards our affiliate business. I am joined today by Maren Tinefeld. She is the international content manager at Sneakerjagers, and she gives us very interesting ideas and points about what content to write and how to write it, which I think it's very helpful because sometimes when we're starting our business or when we start producing content, especially written content, we don't know exactly where to begin, and there's so many options. And overall, we had a great conversation in which she shared a lot of multiple options and ideas about how she writes her content, and hopefully you can get something out of this that will work best for you. I really did enjoy this conversation. It's really a good point of reference for beginners in affiliate marketing. And then from all of the ideas that she gave us, you're going to be able to choose what works best for your website and your affiliate business. So here it is. We're talking about content. Enjoy the chat with Maren and enjoy Wires Uncrossed. Today, I am joined by Maren Tinefeld.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's correct? Okay, good.
Said it very well, actually.
Oh, thank you. We're very happy to have you here in the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
I see you working every day, and you are handling all these interns and all of these writers, and you know exactly what to put and where to put it. So I'm very excited to have you here on the podcast to discuss a little bit more on this deep dive series that we're doing. The second pillar, that is content creation for affiliate marketing. So since you are the content manager, I'm guessing you have some other extra experience on content before. So could you give us a little bit of background so people know a little bit about what you've done before?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for the introduction. As you already said, I'm a content manager, actually international content manager.
Ooh.
Not sure if that matters, but sounds great, right?
Yes.
At Sneakerjagers, which is a platform, sort of an agency for sneakers and streetwear. My background is actually in journalism and communication, and at Sneakerjagers I'm mostly responsible for planning and implementing content in various forms, actually, amongst other things, because this includes projects and fixed deals with various affiliate partners we have, but also working as head of the editorial team, as you also just said, working with all the writers we have, taking care of the interns. And in general, we provide content in 3 languages, and the content creation team is at the moment the biggest within Sneakerjagers. Yeah. So maybe that's already a nice hint on how important content creation is for affiliate marketing companies like we are. Before Sneakerjagers, I worked for a sort of marketing agency, which was also producing content in different forms, but not for a certain area, but for different areas. So we had clients in every way, basically, if it's sports, if it's marketing, if it's fashion, but also like small bakeries from around the corner, something like this. So we did offline and online marketing over there as well.
Oh, nice. So you know how agency work works.
Exactly.
This is very intense work.
Which is a huge difference between the Netherlands and Germany as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
oh, nice.
But very interesting. And a lot of content. Basically, all I do is around content, and my head always spins around content.
So you're always full of ideas.
Exactly, yeah, because it's kind of a job that never stops. You know, you walk through the streets and then you get an idea, or you stand under the shower and then you see something or think of something, and then you're like, hey, well, I will put that down. Yeah. Maybe that's helpful for next day's content meeting and stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
You can always be creative with those things.
Super. You have the brain that a lot of people wish to have. To have always ideas, yeah. I mean, I personally, I'm one of those people. I'm like, I have no idea. I'm like thinking. I'm like, I'm doing it, and I have to like really deep think like that.
But it's also interesting what you just said, because sometimes it's very hard to have good ideas and to be creative if you have too much work. We also see that here at Sneakerjagers. Yeah. Sometimes you get completely blocked because your daily business is going on and you have so much to do, and then you have to be creative, like creative now.
You get the creative
Exactly.
block.
Yeah, that can happen. So then we try to take like a moment. Everybody has his own like strategy how to do that.
Oh, nice.
But then we try to like get everything out of our heads and
nice. Maybe later on we can talk a little bit more about some advices that you can give about that.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm sure we all have like our little tips and tricks to figure that out. So as I mentioned earlier, today we're gonna go into this deep dive series and the concept that we're talking about today is content creation and the importance that it has for affiliate marketing. So affiliate marketing, if you are not super like aware of how this all works, it goes around three main components, which is the customers, affiliate publishers, and the affiliate advertisers. So in your experience, could you explain to us a few of the main reasons why content creation is important in affiliate marketing based on these three pillars?
Oh yeah, for sure. Of course, you might think since I'm working in that and since content creation is my passion, I of course would say that it's important for affiliate marketing. But I also have some hopefully interesting points to support that.
Yeah, of course.
First of all, content creation is a very important part of affiliate marketing as it can help to attract and also engage customers.
Yeah.
But before we dive more into that, let's maybe take a quick look at the terms you just used.
Yes, of course.
You could say that affiliate publishers are basically the people who promote products or services. Yeah. Then the affiliate advertisers, on the other hand, are the ones who create those products or services. And then you have the customers, of course. They are the people you want to reach and influence with your content in the end, so that they hopefully buy the product or use the service that you're offering. When we are talking about content creation, I have to mention that the key is really in creating high quality content. Yeah. It's not enough to just put things out there on a daily basis. It really depends on the quality. And only with quality content you are able to compete on the market. Yeah. But your content not only needs to be good, it also has to be tailored to the interests of potential customers. And then it can help you to build trust and loyalty in the end. This means you kind of have to be aware of your target audience and try to reach their needs as good as possible. And that can be achieved through various strategies, depending on the market, on the audience, and also on the company you're having and the products or services you're offering. Yeah. Furthermore, you can use content also to increase the visibility of a certain affiliate program, which is a good way to provide useful information to potential customers. With good content, you're simply able to promote the products or services your affiliate company offers in a lot of different ways and channels. By taking the needed time and effort to create those different types of content, affiliate marketers can ensure that their program is successful, and in the end it will definitely help increase their profits and also their reach. Basically, affiliate advertisers use affiliate publishers to try and provide everything a certain target audience needs. And those audiences or communities, whatever you want to call them, can be reached with different types of content. What you should always keep in mind, though, regarding content creation is that it's very important to be sure to build content that is both aligned with the publishers, but also the product owner. To sum that maybe all up a bit, I would describe content creation as a critical part of affiliate marketing. It's an effective way for publishers to build relationships with customers and also to increase their credibility. To this, it can help you to build a community, and it can provide a platform for explanations and highlights of the respective offers. And it's also a very creative way to reach customers and increase sales. You're kind of able to create a tool to convince people to buy or use something if you do it right with content marketing. And as I mentioned in the beginning, it's important to focus on quality content here. That has to be well crafted and tailored to the needs of the publisher you want to reach. With that, the product owner can not only help to increase the trust between the parties, he can also increase the chances of a successful and, of course, very important in the end, profitable affiliate program.
When I had the chat with Mads about social media, he was mentioning a lot the part of community, right? That you have to build a community and then you have to build the trust to be able to make sure that all these things that you're doing underneath to make sure that affiliate marketing is successful are based on that. So I think it's just amazing that you also mention it as well. And I really haven't thought about it like that. It makes a lot of sense. because, well, me as an SEO expert, we know the importance that quality has on the content that you have to place right now, specifically with the new algorithm update. That is even more key. Like if it wasn't before out of just pure logic, but now it's even more. It's really interesting to see how you put it all together to explain, the importance that it has. According to some blogs, like A-Wings blogs, for example, 40% of the affiliate commissions that you can make in the US alone, it all comes from blogs or content, like relative over there. So it definitely lets us know the importance and relevance that content has to affiliate marketing.
I love that fact, by the way.
Yeah, right? You would be like, oh, no, you don't think it that much, but you just see these links all over and you're like, oh my God, really? Like, it's a lot. 40% is quite large. So understanding this, there's different types of content that can be created or for any sort of a platform that you have. Could you explain to us the various applications of different kinds of content based on how affiliate marketing has gained traction and how you can get more of a cash flow through that? Like what types of content are mostly recommended to be able to achieve this?
Happy to, and I'm trying to keep it short. Not sure if that will work.
Oh, no,
Let's see about that.
All the time in the world. Let's just talk about it because there's so many ways you can put a link anywhere. So
that's the thing. That's the thing. And nowadays, people also do that. Put a link everywhere. So you also have to compete with them because basically with the internet, with search engine, with international content marketing, especially in the internet, you're kind of competing with the rest of the world if you want to.
Yeah.
Depending on, of course, the niche you're working in and the people you want to reach. But it can be that your audience is amazingly huge, or you have different types of audiences, and you then have to look at, okay, how can I reach them the best way? And content in general is, of course, first of all, a very complex term. And depending on the company and strategy, there are a lot of different types of content that can be important, that make sense, and that are also productive for a certain affiliate company. But I'd be happy to list a few examples and let's see what we can maybe use or what you guys can maybe use for your companies.
Yeah, that sounds great. This is what we're here for.
So on the one hand, we have product reviews. A thing that I often say to my employees or my interns is that a lot of reasonable things with content marketing you already know from your daily life because you also use content, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And then there are certain things you expect from the content. So if you keep that in mind and then turn it around to also try to reach the expectations of others, you already made it like a nice step. And product reviews is also a thing. Not sure if you do this, but if you want to buy something, I always mostly read the product reviews from other people to see if it fits. Yeah. Definitely, especially in online shopping, of course, when you can't touch the thing or see it.
Exactly. You know,
So let's talk about product reviews. They are a really nice go-to source for a lot of people looking to make a decision on what to buy. Yeah. As I just said, you maybe experience this for yourself every day or every time you want to make a purchase. Therefore, many consumers use online reviews before making a purchase. And if you want to use this as an affiliate company, you should keep in mind that honesty goes a long way in building trust.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's also product comparisons that are maybe a bit similar to product reviews. That's another excellent way to create trustworthy affiliate content. With this, you can place similar products side by side and then give the buyers an overview of the pros and cons of each and help to make a decision between the two of them. Yeah. We also have product roundups. They are so effective because they can lead different readers to different products. And it also means your affiliate revenue doesn't necessarily rely on one link. Yeah. With that being said, clearly highlighting your recommended product will drive more conversions because it makes it easy for a reader to make a decision. And here you should be referring to your buyer's intent keywords to determine what products your users might be looking for, and then use those keywords in your content to reach respective.
Yeah, I think this one is the one that I see the most, especially, let's say, on Instagram, if you follow accounts, for example, like People or Variety or something like that, and you see all the affiliate links there, shop at Amazon, shop at whatever, and it's just a great way to have all of your links in just one place. Yeah.
There's also a bit of a clash between, in this case, of course, about a lot of products, you can say like a million things. But are all these million things really, really important for the buyer that wants to buy your thing? So you have to round it up. You have to tear down the content a bit, just highlight the most important facts.
Yeah, exactly.
Because otherwise you might lose the intention of your audience and they might go somewhere else. On the other hand, you want to be as informative as possible. So there's a bit of always like looking, how long should it be? What should I include? How many facts? Which facts?
With that one, you kind of have to like A/B test quite a bit to see what your audience likes best.
Exactly. And you also have to, if you know as a company what your audience is and what your product is, and also maybe what different audiences are, you can perfectly play that card and get the best results for your buyers' needs.
Of course.
We also have email marketing going on. And here you can, with building an active and engaged email list, you have a step that some publishers often overlook actually.
Yeah.
It's actually a very effective channel for getting repeat sales as an affiliate. With email affiliate marketing, you are able to drive traffic to affiliate content in different ways. For example, crafting emails as a standalone piece designed to convert directly. But you could also use your emails to link back to already existing content, like blogs or videos, social media, tutorials, whatever you have. What will work best for you and your company in the end depends a lot on the rules of the network and the advertisers you're working with and the community you have, and also, of course, the product or service that you're offering. I just mentioned them. In 2023, very important are tutorials in different ways. They are a great tool to show buyers exactly how to use a product or a service. And it's also a nice way to build trust with your audience and to show your expertise in a certain area. Because consumers feel more inclined to buy products when they understand how they work and what the benefits are. Yeah. Which makes sense, of course, in the end, if you think about it. Another possibility of content are sort of gift guides. Also a bit, like you just said, like those top 10 things a lot of people do. Because here we are talking about carefully selected and created gift recommendations that address a specific need or a certain audience. Important here, make it straightforward for readers to find your content. You can do that, for example, by making categories on different topics like occasions, budget, other factors. If you want an example for Sneakerjagers, we could do like top 10 sneakers under 100 euros. Yeah. That would be like budget as a category, and you can list 1 million gifts under this. And then you structure your content a bit more and you make it a bit of a niche. Yeah. And this is a way to even better engage a certain community or a certain audience. What we also can't forget, of course, are landing pages on their own. Unlike other web pages, landing pages basically just have one single goal. They are optimized for a single call to action. And because of this, their design should also be conversion focused. Yeah. That means the traffic to a certain landing page mostly comes from other web pages, including social media, organic searches, as we just said, also maybe email, newsletter, those kind of things. Another thing, what you really can't miss out on in 2023 is video content. Crazy. Everything is video, even not just on social media, but also on the website and articles. It gets more and more.
And you see now that with the new Google, sorry, I get in the topic, but in the new Google algorithm, you will see that you now have recommendations of video as well. So now I see that a lot of people start doing content with video included. Something we should be doing for the podcast as well, but we're not doing at the moment. But it's super, super important, the video.
It's also, again, if you just look at yourself and your private life, if you Google something, I don't know how this and that works, I Google it, how to, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then the first thing is often a video, or the first suggestions, like a video, how to do this, how to lace a sneaker, how to customize a sneaker, whatever. People want to see content that's like easily to comprehend. Yeah. They don't want to read, which is very sad for me in my job. They mostly don't want to read long articles explaining everything. Exactly. They really want a video and like the shortest time you can imagine. People explain something and then they also want to like do it on their own.
Yeah, short to the point.
Short to the point, exactly. And video content also on the website and blogs and articles, whatever we're talking about, are so successful because of their direct nature that allows the audience to feel connected to you, when we're talking again about community, but also makes it way more easier sometimes to explain or even show things
Yeah, that is true. And sometimes, depending on the niche, of course, it's just harder to show you something, or instead of just like looking at words that you can associate with an image, and it's just more visually engaging. Like it cuts the people's attention very quickly.
Definitely, yeah. And there's also a little factor that, of course, video content is often a bit more difficult to create than, for example, written content. And that makes it sometimes easier, if you're good at it and if you have a good base on video content, to reach a certain audience and rank for buyer intent keywords with less competition here, because it's more work, as I said, than, for example, writing. So very important videos, you kind of can't miss out on them. You should try to implement video content wherever you can.
Yeah.
And this is also a bit of a way to maybe connect certain channels you have. For example, we at Sneakerjagers often share our own videos that we posted on social media, YouTube or Instagram or something. We also implement them in our blogs.
Yeah.
To have a sort of a text and video combined.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a good way to reach
people. It's a good linking there, yeah.
What you can also do is work with case studies. They, of course, show your audience that you aren't the only one recommending a product, which adds a certain element of social proof. Real examples and responses are key to effective case studies, and they will get your audience to know, like, and trust you in the end. Not to forget buyer's guides. They work so well because they simplify the task your audience has of deciding what to buy. That means that they kind of walk your community through the whole process and makes it easy for them to select all the things they need. Social media posts, of course. You talk to Mats a lot about this, and they can't be missing in this list either. So, of course, you know that probably. Social media is a very easy and convenient way to engage with your audience. But in order to be effective, this also needs to be consistent. So as an affiliate marketing company, you need to think about that. Regular engagement with your community can build trust. And once you've reached that trust, a lot of people will look at your content for information and recommendations, because they also feel like personally connected to you. Yeah. So you really build a community, what we said before, and then they will probably come back to you if they have questions or if they want to look for content. Yeah. So you already like have your name out there, and they're actively joining your content to get information.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a very nice goal if you reach that as a company.
And as we talk with Mats in terms of social media, you have many types of content that you can put, not only like writing, but also you can put the video, you can put the picture, you can put anything that you want, obviously depending on what social media you decide to use for your product that you're going to use. But obviously that really depends on what you're going to do. So if you don't know exactly how to start, then I recommend you to listen to that podcast, because we discussed about what will be the best platform to use and how to choose it. And we also have a blog post where we mention as well some recommendations about which one is better for your products.
Yeah, for sure. Listen to that. I love to hear Mats talking about those things, to be honest. And one more thing that just came to my mind. Also, of course, you can work a lot with links here. Either affiliate links, of course, linking to products directly, but you can also promote other things you do, again, like blogs or YouTube videos or whatever. Yeah. So that's always content can be used for various channels most of the time. Another thing I have on my list is curations. This can also be mentioned here. And with this, we are talking about a sort of collection of products you recommend for a particular niche or demographic or community. Yeah. Those curations should be carefully chosen, though, and evaluated by you to be really like the best of the best. They can be described as a small subset of product roundups, and they are focused on creating a very personal feel for your audience by highlighting your experience with the product as a standalone item. And last but not least, again, something that you also might know from your daily life and like from your daily life is deals and coupons.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite thing.
Especially in the Netherlands, when you hear like korting popping up, you know, sale, everybody goes crazy. So here we go, deals and coupons always work. People often search for coupons or deals towards the end of their buyer's journey. And this is, of course, where it gets interesting because, as we said in the beginning, with the content we do, we want to push the sales for our affiliate partners.
Yeah, of course.
And if you then grab the user basically towards the end of their buyer's journey with maybe a sale or a little discount code or something, makes the offer way more attractive for someone once they already have made the decision to buy something.
Yeah.
But then you have to be there so they buy your product and not the one from the guy next door. You know what I mean? So they've already made the decision to purchase, and a discount might make it more likely to go with your product than anyone else's. So this is also a way that might give someone that final push when they are planning to buy something.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also a way like the discount part, because I always fall in that trap that you see the discount or that you see that they always have like nice promotions, and eventually you just start coming into the website naturally. Like you don't come because you're just putting on sneakers or whatever. Like you start coming, be like, oh no, but they always have nice prices. They always have nice discounts. And then eventually you just don't care that much about the discount, but more about, the product that they're selling. But that's a really good way. And yes, the fact that it works. my wallet's the fact that it works.
True. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, exactly. It's incredible to hear how much content can be produced and how much of that is actually content creation. That people don't really, if you're not really into marketing or you're just getting started, you don't have it like in first thought that those kind of things or those kind of posts or everything like that, they're actually content creation. So since we have so many ways, could you tell us about the benefit that all of this content creation can have for an affiliate publisher or the product, and how we can convert more through all of this traffic generated with all those possible digital channels that we can put all of this content that we were talking about?
Very interesting also what you just said, that there's so much content, and also a lot of people aren't really aware of how much might this content might have. That's a bit like a cliche, for example, for blogging.
Yeah.
But talking about really quality content creation, writing articles, SEO-based articles is a completely different way, and it's a lot of work. And there's my team, for example, puts a lot of hours in those things.
Yeah.
But they work in the end.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's something where we sometimes maybe have to try to give a bit more awareness of what content creation can be and how useful it can be for certain publishers. And talking about content creation in general, I really have to say that articles are a sort of foundation to content marketing. They are a place for keywords, they allow publishers to provide information, and they can also answer questions. And furthermore, you can attract a lot of organic traffic, promote and even sell products, create long-term values, and all of these things are not like social posts, for example. They can't provide this. So this is something that's basically exclusive for an article on the website. I also have to point out that content marketing is a bit different to affiliate marketing, but definitely part of it, and a huge part of it. Because content marketing focuses on creating valuable content to attract and engage with a certain audience. And affiliate marketing then comes into play once you've built up that trust in order to sell other people's products to your audience.
Yeah, exactly.
And another important point to mention here is to increase brand awareness, especially when you work for a young company that's not as known as really big brands everybody knows. You can reach a larger audience by creating and promoting high quality content, and you can get your name out there, basically. Of course, we should also not forget about SEO, and you will agree to that, of course. Good SEO work leads to improved search engine rankings,
Yes, it does.
since those search engines prefer fresh, relevant, and informative content, and again, high quality content. That means a strong content marketing strategy can help you rank higher on Google. And again, like I said before, quality content is key here. And also again, if you think of your daily life, click on Google's page 2 if you're looking for something, or other, just in case you're very, very desperate, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. If you really cannot find what you're looking for,
Then you maybe go to page 2 or 3, but otherwise, everything that's not just Google, of course, every search engine.
Yeah, exactly. For us, page 1 is the goal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And without SEO, almost no chance getting there, I would say. And in most cases, you are competing with a lot of different offers and other content. So make sure your one is the best and your one is unique. And your one has something that other people don't offer, or other websites, other companies. And with that, I kind of mean try to reach your audience with the content best suited for their search and buyer intent. While talking about content marketing, I also have to highlight the benefit of all the different channels you can use to get your content out there. As I mentioned before, there are a lot of different types of content you could choose from to create the best possible offer for the audience you want to reach, which in the end should lead to a lot more traffic and also, what we want, of course, a lot more sales. And maybe as a last point, I want to highlight something that kind of goes with what I said before. You're able to reach higher engagement and conversions. By providing valuable content, you can build trust and credibility among your target audience, which is very important in the end to stand out and to play an important role in terms of affiliate marketing, to beat out competitors, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that definitely puts into perspective how much you really have to think and understand the identity of your brand and of the product that you have. If you're doing affiliate marketing, exactly what is it that you're promoting and you're selling, and be very true to that, be able to market it in the proper way, to know that there's not that many, like there's not little things that you can do. There's a bunch of things that you can do, as we heard, and a bunch of strategies that we can start through content that will help us for sure push out, if we're just getting started, to push out of the ground our business and definitely getting those sales going, because traffic and sales are definitely what we want to get out of this, and content is definitely going to help us.
Totally.
So thank you so much. That was so awesome to hear. I'm so happy to finally kind of like put a pin of everything that you do every single day, and admire your work and everything that you've achieved so far in Sneakerjagers. And yes, do you have any final closing statements, words, or anything?
Oh, wow, that puts a lot of pressure on me. I wanted to say thank you for your words, actually. And I hope I could also help you guys out there to create very nice, high-quality content for the future.
Quality.
For affiliate marketing. I'm not sure, maybe you can see how many times I've said that, but it's important, high quality. But also you just said a very important thing is sometimes it's one of the most important things to be aware of your company and your product and the values you want to bring out. And from there on, you can go and produce the content you want to produce. Exactly. But first you have to know, who am I? And then you can approach other people, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Because then your identity just is it's just marked on all the content that you do.
And then you can decide on, okay, how can I be better than the rest of the competitors? How can I do the exclusive content I want to do with the values I carry and I want to bring out?
Okay, super. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me.
And for your time and for everything. And thank you all for listening. That is all for this episode of Wires Uncrossed. Please subscribe here on Spotify or in any other platform, or wherever you're listening to us, so you never miss any future uploads. We're on our episode 2 of 4 of this Deep Dive series. So we hope to close the last 2 episodes with a bang, because I think they're really, really interesting for the foundation of starting a company, especially on affiliate marketing. Also follow us on all of our social media channels, for which you can find all the links in the description of the episode. We're going to release new podcasts every few weeks to continue to unveil the world of affiliate marketing, one episode at a time. Thank you all so much for listening, and until the next episode.